Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria, where we make sure you're in the know of what's happening currently across the Nigerian Federation. I'm Olumide Macaulay on the program today. The NLC protest enters the second day in the nation's capital, Abuja, as federal government insists on no work, no pay directive. The Kaduna State government empowers first sets of its entrepreneurial skills acquisition program. And the Anambra State government boosts education in the state, providing funds to missionary schools for upgrades and rehabilitation of facilities. We begin in the nation's capital, Abuja, where the federal government has issued circulars to ministries and parastatals threatening to enforce the no work, no rule pay on any government worker who participates in the strike action. That is the no work, no pay rule. This is coming after the Ayuba Waba-led protest of the Nigeria Labour Congress enters its second day, as the workers' union and their allies march through the highways in the nation's capital. Protesting labor leaders say they will not be deterred by such directives from the government. The president of the NLC, Mr. Ayuba Waba, says members should be willing to make sacrifices for the struggle. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has mandated its Committee on Aviation to investigate the activities of agencies regulating the air transport sector. They are to ascertain the extent to which the regulators comply with their responsibilities of ensuring the airworthiness of aircraft operating within the nation's airspace. This resolution followed a motion sponsored by Sergio Sogun, representing SR North and Southeast Edo State.
Also note that notwithstanding its touted disadvantages over other means of transportation, the occurrence of an air crash and its fatal outcome has made it imperative for countries around the world to establish regulatory agencies to regulate the activities of airline operators with a view to ensuring convenient and safe flying. The House is also aware that notwithstanding the establishment of these regulatory agencies and the range of functions they are mandated to carry out, the frequency of air crashes in Nigeria calls to question the expertise and competence of these agencies. Further aware that extant laws such as the Montreal Convention 1999, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Act 2006, and the Nigerian Civil Aviation Regulation 2012 make ample provisions to compensate victims of air crashes for loss of lives and injuries, but such provisions are incapable of replacing lost lives. The House is convinced that if thorough investigation of the activities of airline operators are carried out with a view of ascertaining the airworthiness of aircrafts operating in the country, it will help in small measure to minimize the frequency of air crashes in Nigeria, and also significantly improve the ratings of the Nigerian aviation sector globally.
For more on the aviation sector and the recent happenings concerning the labor strike, I'm now joined on News Across Nigeria by the National President of the Air Transport Services Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Mr. Benjamin Okewu. You're welcome to the program.
Welcome and good afternoon, Nigerians.
The striking unions say that there will be a total shutdown at the airports today. We've been reporting that that is not the case. What is the position of the unions at the airport concerning the strike by the NLC?
Okay, yeah, we have three industrial unions in the aviation industry. National Association of Aircraft Pilots and Engineers, Air Transport Services Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, and National Union of Air Transport Employees. Incidentally, two of these industrial unions belong to TUC. They are affiliated to TUC because they are senior staff unions.
Of the Trade Union Congress.
Trade Union Congress. I am also the financial secretary of the Trade Union Congress. The Trade Union Congress directed that we should suspend the strike action, the intended strike action, so we didn't commence the action at all, and we directed all our people not to go on strike. And that is why if you go to the airports now, all the members belonging to both ATSAN and NAPE are working. It will be very difficult to say that the airports will be closed because there's no way you can deter us from also exercising our rights to work.
What about the remaining union? You said there were three.
The other unions affiliated to NLC, and so they are joining the strike. But
how much of a workforce is that?
For
the union to so they are going to strike.
They are on strike.
They're on strike.
They're on strike, and activities are going on at the airports. Basically, what we do as even senior staff, we are management projections. When you are faced with such situations, you have to make a contingent arrangement to make sure that areas where members of NUATE who are affiliated to NLC do not come to perform their responsibilities, you get other senior staffs to do that. And that is being done at the airport now.
Sorry to interrupt you, one-third of the striking unions, of the unions and the aviation sector are on strike.
You can assume that, but I cannot specifically give one thought to them, but you can assume that.
Okay. Yeah. Another issue I want us to quickly talk about is how has the increase in the price of petrol affected availability of aviation fuel?
Well, I think there are two different things entirely. Pt.1 has never been subsidized. It has been deregulated a long time ago. For the past 5 years, we have been buying Jet-A1 at a very exorbitant price because government is not subsidizing Jet-A1. But we had issues where people were mistaken that kerosenes were, transformed to Jet-A1, and then that was also not true. But basically, Jet-A1 has been deregulated a long time ago, so it has nothing to do with the current increase in petroleum price per pump price.
But I was told that some marketers who you purchased aviation fuel from are now beginning to delve into petrol.
I don't have facts. I don't have facts on that. But you must understand
is there a lack of supply of?
Yeah, there's lack of supply
of aviation fuel.
Yes, there is lack of supply.
Why?
And basically, it's more of a cartel thing. And usually when you have even the product and you hold it, there might be one or two things you want to achieve, either to take up the price, you understand, or to frustrate people to begin to buy cash. Usually, aviation business is done on 45 days grace per, credit. So, what they insist now is that you pay as you go. You have your money, you give me, I give you Jet-A1, because in doing that, they feel that they can get people to buy at the existing price at that time. So it's a cartel thing. And we have said government that should try and dedicate part of the production in Nigeria to Jet-A1 so that we can also fight this cartel. Because whether you like it or not, it's the difficult thing. Bringing Jet-A1 to Nigeria is not as easy as even bringing petrol, because there are specific refineries that produce Jet-A1.
I'm bringing that up because of the obvious cancellation of flights, delay in flights in the aviation sector.
Yeah,
but what you just said, I understand that. But did any part of the strike that the NLC is undergoing now affect this?
No, the truth of the matter is that cancellation of flights started about 3-4 weeks ago, and it has to do with the unavailability of Jet-A1. Because those bringing in Jet-A1 are not bringing it the way they should bring it in, and even those that have in stock, they are holding the supply so as to get higher money for the prices. So it's more of a cartel.
Is there no way to deal with this cartel?
Yeah, we have made proposals to government, and government has taken one of those proposals, and that is dedicating. You will recall that about 6 weeks ago, the Minister of State Petroleum came out to say that Kaduna refineries were going to give 25% of their production to Jet-A1 production, and that will go a long way to break this cartel.
Okay, now we just saw the House of Representatives talk about directing the Committee on Aviation to investigate the airworthiness of Nigerian planes or planes generally that fly Nigerian airspace? Do passengers have a cause to worry now?
I don't want to join issues with the House of Representatives. They have the legislative right to oversight the responsibilities of the various ministries and aviation federal government parastatals, and they can at any point insist that they want to do such investigation. But I can categorically say, as the national president of the union, that we are in a situation in Nigeria where it is not possible for an aircraft that is not airworthy to take off, because we have those checks in place. There are things that you look at when you talk about the airworthiness of an aircraft, and those standards are being respected. They are being followed as far as the Nigerian aviation industry is concerned, up to date.
Are you saying that things have changed and improved since the last air crashes that we've had?
Yeah, you will recall that one of the aviation policies that came out as a result of those crashes was that if you don't own more than 2 aircrafts, you cannot even go into commercial operations, and that is being implemented. There are situations where sometimes you run over your check that you are supposed to do, but now those graces have been removed. You understand? They have also intensified effort to say that where you are supposed to even do 1 or 2 checks, they add more for you to do. So as a result of the Dana crash that took place. So
there's no more need for Nigerians to worry about the fact that there are not so many planes, and because airlines want to meet the targets,
yes,
for profits, that those same planes go on too many routes in one day.
I must say this: the aircraft is worthless on ground. The aircraft is manufactured to be in the air. It's manufactured to be in the air. That is why every part in the machine, in the aircraft, has a time lag. We call it the hours. The moment the part gets into that hours, you have no option, because you log in every day. So when it gets to that hour that you must change, you change that part.
So is there no such thing as overusing an aircraft?
No, it's not possible. There's nothing like the aircraft is worthless. I said it's created to be in the air at all times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, so because I know Nigerians will be very concerned about how this ongoing strike. Well, the final word from the Air Transport Services Senior Staff Association is that is there any time in the future that you will join the strike or not? Well, what's the official position now, since the strike is going on from this faction of the NLC?
Well, I think the reasons for these little differences must be clearly stated. At the level of the TUC, the National Executive Council of TUC gave us mandate with options. The first option was to say that, yes, go there, insist that the federal government must reverse to the earlier price, which was 86 naira 50 kobo. Secondly, if they are unable to reverse, insist on palliatives, set up technical committee to see how we can get down on those prices. That gives you the opportunity to go to the negotiation table with a free mind. But that of NLC was different. They came with just one mandate: reversal or strike action. And that was how the differences came on board. And for now we are discussing, after discussion with the technical committee, whatever we have presented, if there's need for a price reduction, of course it will be stated, and then the NLC will insist that that should be implemented.
Thank you so much, Mr. Benjamin.
Thank you.
Okay, well, he's the president of the Air Transport Services of the National Senior Staff Association, the Air Transport Services Senior Staff Association in Nigeria. Thank you so much for coming on News Across Nigeria. We're going to take a break now, and when we come back, the Kaduna State government trains 5,000 youth in entrepreneurial skills. Don't go away.